Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the weekly MMA Cycles Market Update. This is Gianni DePoci, your host, and it's Friday, so it means that it's time to review what happened in the cosmos and in the markets this past week. It was an eventful week from an astrological standpoint, to say the least. We started off with Mercury going direct on Sunday, the 14th of May, and then obviously we had Jupiter ingress into the sign of Taurus on the 16th, and then on the following day, Jupiter squared Pluto, and then this weekend on the 20th, we will have Mars ingress into Leo and form an opposition to Pluto. So this is all part of the T-square aspect, with Jupiter at the apex in Taurus, squaring Mars and Pluto in the signs of Leo and Aquarius, respectively. So next week, we're actually going to have the exact square aspect between Mars and Jupiter. That's going to be on the 23rd of May. And then next Sunday on the 28th of May, we're going to have the Sun square Saturn. So let me go ahead and share my screen here, and we can take a look at what happened in several markets. It was a pretty good week for stocks overall. Here on Friday, we're reversing a little bit. And this came after comments from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen that said more bank mergers may be necessary. So this definitely ties into the whole T-square we're seeing now. But, you know, in astrology, the planet at the apex of the T-square represents the solution to the tension created by the opposition. So with Jupiter and Taurus, we have to hone in and focus on what's going on in the banking space. So I do think, you know, these mergers are probably a good thing, as counterintuitive as that may be, because it's probably going to save the financial system from some serious issues. So the big news was in the NASDAQ, which rallied to a new multi-month high. We're now trading at levels not seen since August 2020. And it's worth highlighting that the NASDAQ futures took out its high from August 2016. We're looking at the NASDAQ cash here. So we've not taken out that high from August 2022. I think I said August 2016 a moment ago, but I was looking at August 16th to date. But you get what I mean. We have not taken out that high from August 2022 in the NASDAQ cash index, but we have in the futures. But this is a big move right now because it joins the Dow in taking out that high from August 2022. So all that's missing now is the S&P 500 futures taking out that high from August 2022. But we're in this very intense reversal period right now. So we could see some profit taking over these next couple sessions or couple weeks here. So just be alert on that front. Let's take a look at, I'm actually going to pull up TLT long-term treasuries, because next week we have the monthly MMA ETF report being published. And this is one of the ETFs that we look at. TLT broke to new lows. We did take out that previous major cycle low here. So this could be signifying that the primary cycle crest is complete. We have to keep an eye on that. But no doubt the Jupiter square Pluto and Mars opposing Pluto, we have to look for key reversals in interest rate or debt related markets. And with the whole banking situation unfolding right now, this market will be at the center of attention. And keep in mind, there's also the debt ceiling debacle going on right now too. So, you know, one would think if a resolution is not reached in a timely manner, that could lead to a sustained sell-off in debt, which means in treasury debt, which would mean that interest rates go up. So we just need to keep in mind that as well. Let's take a look at the US dollar. I'm taking a look at the UUP ETF here because we don't have the Friday closes, but it was a strong day, strong week rather, for the US dollar. Rallied to a new multi-month high here, still lower than that high from March, but euro definitely pulling back here. Dollar made a new multi-month high against the Japanese yen as well. So this could be a flight to safety trade. I do think here on Friday, just a little bit of profit taking from the week. But I think looking ahead into the summer, when it comes to currencies, Venus going retrograde in Leo between, I believe it's July 22nd and September 3rd, will be an important period for currencies, no doubt, and especially central bank policy. It's not uncommon to see central banks pivot on policy during that time. Let's take a look at USO, the crude oil ETF. It was a pretty decent week for crude oil on Friday, seeing some profit taking here, but still hanging out near the lows. Interestingly, USO, the crude oil ETF, did not make a new low compared to that March low, whereas the spot price of crude oil did. So this is an important case of intermarket bullish divergence between this fund that tracks crude oil prices and the actual spot price of crude oil itself. So we'll be giving an extensive update on this market in next week's MMA ETF report. So if you're interested in what's going on in the energy market, definitely take a look at that. Another ETF that we cover in that report is GDX, the gold miners. Sold off for most of this week, a little bit of a rebound here on Friday. My concern here is that we made a lower low below this low here. And if you recall earlier in the year, I was pretty constructive on metals due to Jupiter transiting through the sign of Aries and the sun being exalted in Aries and the sun ruling over gold. But now that Jupiter's out of Aries and into Taurus, that energy is shifted. So we're gonna have to keep a close eye on this. Gold is a currency, more or less, but how will gold react to the new Jupiterian energy? That is a mystery that we will solve in due time. Let's take a look at Bitcoin here, and that's going to do it for today. Bitcoin still consolidating near the lows here. We're maturing in several key cycles right now, so need to be cautious at this point in time. But the geocosmics over the next couple of weeks do warrant some caution in the crypto market. Ray and I discussed this in last week's column, so if you want to check that out, the video is on this YouTube page as well. So Bitcoin pretty much range bound this week. Not much to update. Our comments from last week remain intact. So those are the markets that I wanted to review with you today. So thank you so much for watching. Again, I already mentioned that next week we will be issuing the monthly ETF report. I also want to inform viewers that I will be conducting a webinar this Saturday, May 20th with Astrology University with our good friend Tony Howard. So we'll be giving a forecast, a 6 to 12 month forecast on various geocosmic signatures and how they may impact financial markets. So you can find the details there at astrologyuniversity.com. I was also featured in a podcast with Astrology University. The link will be at the description of the video below, where I discussed the upcoming Gemini season with the host Alejo Lopez. We talked about some other economically pertinent transits this summer. So you can check that out as well. And last but certainly not least, I want to remind all of our viewers that we will be having the Course 2 / investment retreat from June 1st to June 4th. That's going to be in Troy, Michigan. Details can be found at MMAcycles.com. Registration is only going to be open for probably another 7 to 10 days. We need to finalize all of the details for the events, or for the location and the the hotel and all that. So send us an email if you have any questions, customer service at MMAcycles.com or MMTA at MMAcycles.com. So that's all for now. We'll see you again, same time, same place next week. Have a great weekend.